Games Workshop just dropped a huge Eye of Terror wave. And if you're new to 40K, this is the stuff that actually matters. This is not one random character revealed box of dice pretending to be an event. This is a full in-campaign release with new books, new detachments, major faction support, and enough metal on the table to make your wallet start sweating across the room. And if you saw that Sunday preview and thought, cool, I think. But what am I actually looking at? You're not alone. So in this video, I want to break down what Eye of Terror actually is, why the Iron Warriors are clearly the stars of this drop, which reveal stands out the most, and what beginners should really pay attention to before this all goes up for pre-order next Saturday. So what is the Eye of Terror actually? First, let's get the frame right, because that changes how you look at everything in this preview. Eye of Terror, the Reign of the Iron, is a new Warhammer 40K expansion built around the fighting in the Cacadian Gate, where Imperial holdouts are still resisting after Cadia's destruction, and where the Forge World Arpania is one of the biggest targets in the path of the Iron Warriors. That matters, because this is presented as a proper Warzone campaign, not a side note release. And that campaign angle is doing a lot of work here. The expansion includes new lore, a book of detachments for the Chaos Space Marines, Chaos Knights, Imperial Knights, and Adeptus Mechanicus, and a separate set of rules for running large apocalyptic scale battles, bigger armies, and bigger guns. So even before we touch a single model kit, this already feels like one of those releases that is trying to move the whole battlefield forward a step. This is also why this preview feels heavier than a normal Sunday post. You're not just seeing cool minis, you are seeing the beginning of a campaign package that is trying to sell the conflict, the factions, and the tabletop experience all at once. And once you look at that through those lenses, one thing becomes obvious very fast. This is an Iron Warriors release. Not in the sense that nobody else got anything, because they absolutely did. But in terms of identity, spotlight, and sheer presence, this preview has hazard stripes all over it. The story centers on the long campaign to seize the Cacadian Gate, and the Sunday preview stacks that theme with Mourn, the Mutilators, and a new Defiler, Iron Warrior upgrades, and an Iron Warriors combat patrol box, and even some themed dice. This is a strong signal for beginners. Some release spread attention around evenly, while others clearly have a centerpiece faction and then build the rest of the launch around that pressure point. Eye of Terror is very much the second kind. If you ever looked at an Iron Warriors and thought of evil siege engines and bitterness issues with heavy armor sounds kind of sick, then Game Workshop knows exactly what it is doing here. And honestly, that works in this preview's favor. Iron Warriors have a clear battlefield identity, brutal assaults, demon engines, grinding pressure, siege warfare, and zero interest in being nice. That makes this release easier for a new player to latch onto, because it has a strong center instead of feeling like a scattered pile of unrelated reveals. Let's start with this powerful warlord here, because he is the easiest place to plant your flag in this wave. Warhammer community positions him as the primary Iron Warriors warlord driving the assault on Archipina, and the First Look Rules article leans into that hard by describing him as an absolute battering ram, armed with a thunder hammer, power fist, with rules geared around picking a target and flattening it. That is a very clean fantasy for a chaos character. He is not trying to be elegant. He is here to drive straight through the wall and then complain that the wall did not break fast enough. Then you get the Defiler, which might be one of the most important reveals in the whole preview just because of how many Chaos players it can reach. The preview says it can be used in Chaos Space Marines, Death Guard, World Eater, Thousand Suns, and Empire's Children armies. And the kit comes with a massive list of build options, from torso poses and variants to a pile of weapon choices. For a beginner, that broad faction across access is a big deal because it means this is not some niche side piece buried in one corner of a space Chaos army. This is a model a lot of different Chaos fans are going to look at and go, hell, that thing is getting fielded. The reveal article also makes it clear that the Defiler is meant to feel dangerous in more than one phase. It is pitched as a flexible threat that can combine range pressure with close combat pressure, which fits the whole Demon Engine identity really well. And from that type of standpoint, this is the kind of kit that helps sell the whole Eye of Terror release instantly. Because even if you know nothing about the campaign books, a giant spider tank demon nightmare tends to make a pretty big impression. Then there are the Mutilators. And these guys are basically the pure melee panic of the preview. The Sunday Post frames them as Chaos Space Marines obsessed with close combat to the point their warped, mutated bodies can shift in all kinds of murder tools. And the follow-up rule pieces say they can tailor that melee output to chew through light infantry, elite targets, or even some vehicles. That is great beginner-friendly battlefield role right there. Because you can understand the pitch immediately. Get them into combat. And something unfortunate happens to whoever is standing in front of them. On top of that, the Iron Warrior support pieces around them are doing some good work. The upgrade pack gives Chaos Legionnaires and Havocs a more distinct Iron Warriors look. And the Combat Patrol bundles a Warp Smith, Chaos Terminators, and Legionnaires. This is a very on-theme force for a siege-flawed Chaos army. That means the preview is not just showing off one flashy hero and calling it a day. It is presenting a full Iron Warriors package with a proper tabletop identity behind it. Now the easy mistake would be look at the preview and say, cool, this was a Chaos release and everybody else got leftovers. That is not really what happened. The Imperium got some very real support here too, especially through Adeptus Mechanicus and the Imperial Knights. And that matters because it gives the release more than just one angle for new players to care about. The big Adeptus Mechanicus got a new character, and Warhammer community presented her as a destructive command piece and durable compared to Balazar's Crawl, heavy personal firepower, and the ability to buff forces through the Rod of the Warforge. That gives her a strong battlefield identity right away. She is not just another tech priest. She looks like a centerpiece leader for a more aggressive gunline backed by the AdMech force that still wants to get into the thick of it when she needs to. Then you have Astari, which is, I think, one of the easiest units in the preview for a beginner to understand. Heavier armor, heavier guns, 2 variants, one better at clearing infantry, and one better at hammering through tougher targets like vehicles and monsters. The rules preview also calls out their durability with a 3+ armor save, 5+ invulnerable save, and 2 wounds each, which gives them a more planted battlefield role than a lighter unit. And then there is the Knight, which honestly feels like it was built in a lab to make Knight players say, this is the coolest thing ever made. The preview says it's a mid-sized Knight. The article describes it as being fast with extra speed from ramjets, plus a flexible loadout that can lean ranged, melee, or a mix of both for you. This thing lands exactly how you want a new Knight chassis to land. Fast, aggressive. If you're enjoying this so far, subscribe, help the channel grow. Now, let's talk about the part a lot of new players should probably care about most, even without pricing, the boxes, because for somebody already deep in the hobby, a preview like this can be about one character, one data sheet, or one detachment. For a beginner, the real question is often much simpler. What here actually looks like an entry point? The combat patrol of Iron Warriors is a very obvious example. It bundles a Warpsmith, 5 Havocs, 5 Chaos Terminators, and 10 Legionnaires, plus the upgrade frame. That is not just a random unit assortment. That is a force that already feels like it belongs together, which is exactly what a beginner box should. It gives you a command piece, durable infantry, heavy weapons, and a very clear faction identity straight out the gate. Then the battalion boxes push that identity even farther. The Adeptus Mechanicus battalion is loaded with armored support, including a Doomcrawler, a Doom Rider, and an Iron Stride. That is just very good. And the preview ties that to the new Corheret detachment. The Imperial Knights battalion gives you a knight that can be built as Valorant, a bunch of other options that could go with that, plus 2 armigers that can be built as Warglaves, tied to the Free Blade Company detachment. And then the Sons of Dorn battalion leans hard into armored space marines with a ballista dreadnought and 2 repulsor executioners framed around the ceramic sentinel detachment. That is a huge part of why this release feels so important. Even without prices, you can already see that Games Workshop is not just pushing lore here. It is also putting multiple army identities on the table in a very good way. Chaos Siege Force, AdMech Fire Support, Night Aggression, Vehicle Heavy Marines. There are several doors to open into this release. It grabs almost any player. And I would say all this is going to be sold out instantly next Saturday when it comes up for pre-order. So if you're brand new, what should you actually take away from this without getting buried under every weapon, option, and every product name? First, this is a major campaign release, not a small rules update pretending to be a headline. It is built around a real war zone. It pushes multiple factions at once, and it is trying to make Eye of Terror feel like a live front in this setting. Second, the Iron Warriors are the anchor. Even if you do not collect Chaos, that is still useful to understand because it tells you where the flavor, narrative, pressure, and most obvious product support are being aimed. The Mutilators and Defilers, and the Iron Warriors Combat Patrol. That's the real meat of this release. Third, this wave has more reach than it looks at first glance. The detachments cover Chaos Space Marines, Chaos Knights, Imperial Knights, and Adeptus Mechanicus. And the unit reveal back that up with meaningful support outside Chaos too. So even if you're not here for Hazard Stripes and Industrial Bitterness, there is still a good chance something in the release is your faction style of war. And fourth, if you are a beginner, do not panic over what you have not memorized yet. You do not need to know every chassis class, every gun profile, or every detachment name today. The most important thing is spotting the broad battlefield picture. This is an Eye of Terror campaign. Drop with Iron Warriors at the center of it, but with enough support around them that a lot of players are going to feel this release, not just one legion. Now, to keep this honest, there are still some important gaps. The Sunday preview gives us support in a broad release framing, but it does not give us pricing. It also does not unpack every detachment in detail right there on the page. The follow-up articles do give us first look at units like the Defilers and Mutilators, but it's still not the same thing as having the whole release fully mapped out. So I would not turn this into a hard buy this, skip that conversation yet. That comes later this week when the full picture is actually on the table. Right now, the right read is that Eye of Terror looks very sustainable release with a clear identity, several strong headline kits, and multiple faction entry points worth watching closely as pre-orders hit Saturday. So overall, I think this Eye of Terror wave looks strong. It has a real campaign spine. The Iron Warriors absolutely own the spotlight. The Chaos reveals have real presence, and the AdMac and Knight support keeps the whole thing from feeling one-sided. More importantly for beginners, this is one of those previews where you can actually see the battlefield themes clearly instead of having to squint through a pile of discounted reveals. If you're new to 40K, this is definitely a race to keep an eye on next week. And once the pre-orders are fully live and we know more, the next thing I want to do is break down what the Eye of Terror actually looks best for beginners to pay attention to first. So subscribe and I'll catch you in that one.